super excited about today. We have Justin Sander with us. Hello, Justin. How are you doing?
Good. How are you guys doing?
Good. I'm doing pretty good. I'm excited for this session. So can you tell everyone what we're doing today?
We're going to do a little bit of modified jiu-jitsu stuff today. We'll start with a little bit of a warm-up, and then we're going to do an introduction to a game that we do basically every day with our kids' BJJ programs. It's a game that will teach you the rules, and then I'll kind of tell you how you can play this with your family at home.
Cool. That's awesome. I've never done jiu-jitsu. I've never done a martial art. I did. We had a capoeira class about 2 weeks ago. Yeah, so I was like, that got me really motivated, and I love doing it. So I'm super excited to do jiu-jitsu today. It's gonna be fun. So can you tell us a little bit about yourself? Where you coach, how jiu-jitsu came into your life, and yeah.
Well,
it's lagging a little bit.
Just let me know when it lags, and I'll repeat myself. That's fine.
Okay.
My name's Justin Sander, and I coach out of Little Sweatshop in Sherwood Park. I've been doing jiu-jitsu for 10 years. I actually just got my black belt last year. And I started out as an MMA fighter and then kind of took on the gentle art of jiu-jitsu after I retired from that. So here we are.
That's super awesome. Black belt, that is the top, obviously, right? The last final belt.
Yeah.
And I'm curious, how many belts are there?
It goes white belt, blue belt, purple belt, brown belt, and then black belt right there at the top.
Okay. And that took you 10 years to accomplish? That's awesome. Congratulations. That's a huge achievement. Okay, well, I'm excited to get started. So why don't we get into the warm-up?
Okay, let me set the camera up here.
Sure.
Okay, so all you're gonna need is you're just gonna need a little bit of space just to get us warmed up here. Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, we're good.
Okay, so all we're gonna do is we're just gonna start with a quick little easy warm-up just to get the blood flowing. All I want you to do is I want you to have your feet side by side. Okay, if you have a line in the carpet or on the floor in front of you, all we're gonna be doing for 30 seconds, we're just gonna be hopping over and then back on that line. So for the next 30 seconds, feet together, back and forth over that line. Ready? Go. Really focus on where your feet are landing. Don't be all over the place. Nice straight line. From here, we're going to stop. Instead of going forward and back, we're just going to go side and side. Okay, same thing. Feet together. Focus on where your feet are landing. Get a nice little warm up here. And go. Good. We're going to take that line that's in front of us again. I'm going to have 1 foot in front of it, 1 foot behind. So I'm going to do a little hop and I'll switch. Okay, when you're doing this, don't be landing in the splits. Focus on where your feet are, little movements with your feet. And go. Good. Just to make sure our legs are nice and warm and ready to go, we're going to have our feet shoulder width apart. We're going to do 10 squats together. So, looking up, chest up. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Shake it out a little bit. Okay, we're good to go. We're going to get right into our activity today. So what we call this is a game called knee tag. This is how we like to start all of our rounds in Jiu-Jitsu. Jiu-Jitsu it's ground fighting, essentially. The difference between wrestling and Jiu-Jitsu is Jiu-Jitsu is all the submissions on the ground. But with that, we have to be able to first get the match to the ground. So we're going to do a little bit of stance stuff, which is kind of like wrestling stuff. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about our stance first. We're going to back up. My feet are going to start together. Okay, you can't see my feet, but just trust me, they're together. I'm going to open my feet so my feet are directly underneath my shoulders. Okay, like I'm standing on railroad tracks. For simplicity today, we're going to take our right leg and we're going to step it forward. Just one foot. Okay, a nice athletic stance. You should feel like you're ready to sprint right now. If you feel like you're doing the splits, your feet are way too far apart. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to bend our knees a little bit. I'm going to bend, hinging at the waist, right here. So I feel like I'm ready to run as fast as I can in that direction. My elbows are going to stay tight to my body. My hands are out in front of me. Now, if you feel comfortable in this stance, you're standing up too tall. I want you to get nice and low, okay? Not low enough that you're sitting on the floor, but where you feel like your legs are activated and you feel like you're ready to spring. Okay, what we're going to do for the first little bit is we're talking about how to move within this stance. Your legs are going to be burning doing this. That is a good thing, okay? We're working out today. That's totally fine. We're going to bend our knees, okay? Heavy on my toes, not on my heels. Think about putting a piece of paper underneath your heel. When we step forward, our right foot is going to step first. So when I do this, step, step. I'm still in that athletic stance. I'm going to go backwards. When I go backwards, that back foot is going to step first. Step, step. Again, my legs should be on fire right now. Okay? If I move to my right foot steps first. Step, step. If I step to the left, left foot first. Okay? So stay in that stance. I'm going to adjust the camera just so you can see my legs here. Okay, so I'm starting with my feet directly together, feet underneath my shoulders. I'm going to take my right foot, step it forward, like I'm standing on train tracks, not a surfboard. I'm going to bend those knees, hinging at the waist, elbows tight, nice and low. Your legs should be on fire. When I step forward, that front leg steps first. Step, step. If I go backwards, back leg first. Step, step. To the right. Right leg first, to the left, my left leg first. Okay, so we're going to do that a couple of times. Legs should be on fire, nice and low. If you look down and your feet are together, no good. Fix that up. Railroad tracks, good athletic sprinting stance. So we're here. We're going to step forward and back, backwards and back. To the right and back. To the left and back. Okay, shake your legs out a little bit. This is where it's going to get a little bit more complex, so pay attention. From our stance, we're going to do something called a sprawl. Everybody's done a burpee where you go down to the push-up and jump up. This is the wrestler version of that. I'm going to stay nice and low. My hands are going to go to the floor. When I do this, I'm going to shoot my legs back, and I'm going to keep my chest up. So from here, like I'm doing a yoga stretch. And back up to my feet. Let's try that together. I'm going to put my hands down, keeping my head up, kicking my legs back. Back up. Okay? So, what we're going to do is you're going to follow me. We're going to go forward, back, side to side. When I say sprawl, I want you to hit that sprawl. Okay? This is not a yoga stretch. It's not a push-up. As soon as you do it, I'm snapping right back up. Lightning quick. Okay? So shake it out. Get ready. Bend those legs. Forward. Back. Right. Sprawl. Good. Left. Forward. Back. Sprawl. Forward. Back. Left. Sprawl. Good. Stand up. Shake it out. How are we doing so far?
That was tough. That was tough.
Yeah.
I had a question about my feet though. Can we go in back? Can I show you my form? I just had a question about my feet. So, you can see my feet. Oh yeah, perfect. So here, when I'm bending forward, where should my toes be pointing in this back foot?
I want my toes facing the same direction. You want to think like you want to be like a spring, like you're about to sprint forward. So if your toes are pointing off toward the side, you're losing that power, that connection to the ground. You're losing that explosion.
Okay, so your toes, you want them pointing both feet, same way. And okay, perfect. The other question I had was with, oh no, I lost it. That hasn't happened in a while. I haven't lost my thought. But when I was doing, oh yes, I put my right foot forward. Is there ever a time where you actually put your left foot forward, or is it dependent on what your dominant foot is?
It's up to you. The reason I wanted everybody to put their right foot forward today is just for simplicity. This way, when I say take a step with your right foot, because the next thing that we're going to do, it's going to require a little bit more instruction. Okay, but while you're doing this, if you decide later on, once you kind of understand the technique and you feel comfortable with it, that you feel more comfortable with your left foot in the front, totally fine.
Okay, cool. Gotcha. Awesome. Yeah, let's continue. My legs are on fire, so let's keep going, right?
Good, here we go. So, let me adjust the camera again. You guys can still hear me all right? Is all good? Perfect, perfect. Okay. So, again, I'm going to start just standing nice and tall. My feet are together. Opening my feet so my feet are directly underneath my shoulders. As we said, we're going to have everybody step with their right foot forward today, just for simplicity with the instruction. But later on, moving forward, it's up to you. Whatever feels more comfortable to have that foot forward, go with that. That's totally fine. My right foot steps forward. Nice athletic stance. My toes are facing forward. I'm bending my knees. Now, I'm not standing super tall. I'm going to hinge at the waist. Elbows tight. My hands are out in front of me. Okay? So, again, toes facing forward. Think about your feet like they're on train tracks. If my feet are ever too close together, it's really hard to explode. Good athletic stance. Okay, so we've talked about moving in any direction. We've talked about the sprawl. We're going to talk about now is a down block. Okay, so what I'm going to do is my right leg, my lead leg, I'm going to kick it straight backwards. Now make sure you're not going to kick anything. This is big with us doing this in the house right now. Make sure you have enough space. I'm going to kick my right leg back. As I do that, my right hand is going to replace where my foot was so I don't fall over. So if I'm here, right leg kicks back, my right hand is going to go down to replace it to keep my balance. Okay. Now when we do this, again, it's not a yoga move. I'm not doing this super slow and holding the stance. When I'm here, this needs to be lightning quick. My right foot kicks back, my right hand replaces it on the ground. Nice and low. In my stance, leg goes back. Okay? We're going to do that 10 times. Okay? So in your stance, nice and low. Elbows always tight. My hands are out in front of me, ready for whatever comes next. Right leg kicks back, right hand touches it on the floor. Nice and quick. On your own time, give it 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay? How's that feeling for you?
It's tough. It's tough. My leg kicking back. Should I be like, should I have a bent leg?
So
yeah.
Go ahead. Let's see what you got here.
Oh, okay, because front, forward, I don't know if I should be kicking straight back or if I should just be up. Straight back?
We'll explain what you want to do with the game as soon as we get done this, okay? What you're focusing on is getting that leg back, okay? You're not so concerned about pointing the toe and making it look nice. You know, it's not figure skating. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get this leg away from the person that I'm against trying to grab it. Okay? We'll go into that in a couple more minutes, but as long as you get that leg back and you keep your balance, you're good.
Okay, cool. Awesome.
Feeling good?
Yeah, it was tough. I really want to, after this, I kind of want to do this all over again, but try with my left foot forward then. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Because when you try something new like this, you don't know if your right side or your left side's dominant. You really don't. So I just want to see where I'm stronger and I'm, you know, more comfortable. So, but it's awesome. I love it.
Great idea. Great idea. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're just going to put it all together. Typically, when we do this in the class is we kind of do this like a follow the leader. Okay, so if you're at home and you're looking for ideas of how to stay active, you can use this as a game. You can get your whole family together and you just have somebody that's kind of like the Simon, and the Simon says, right? You say forward, you say back, you say side, sprawl, and now down block, which we just worked on. Okay, so we're going to do that together a little bit. We're going to go through all the things. Once we do that a couple of times, get a good little sweat in, we'll come back, ask some questions, and we'll explain how you can incorporate this into a game at home with your family. Okay, so again, we're starting feet shoulder width apart. Okay, right leg is going to step forward, not too far, not the splits, nice athletic stance. Bending my knees, the weight is in the balls of my feet. Hinging at the waist, elbows tight, my hands are out right in front of me. Okay, we're going to move around a little bit, starting slow, try and keep up. Okay, here we go. Forward, forward, back, sprawl. Good, once you do that sprawl, remember you pop back up, check your stance, very important. My feet are still shoulder width apart. I'm in a good athletic stance. My feet are facing forward and I'm not standing up too tall. Back in. Right. Left. Forward. Down block. Right leg back, right hand down. Good. Back. Left. Forward. Right. Sprawl. Good. Once you get that nice and fast as you can, explosive. Sprawl. Back, left, right, down block. Right hand, right foot back. Good. Down block. Forward, sprawl. Back, back, down block, sprawl. Good. We're going to move a little bit faster now. Left, forward, back, right, back, forward, sprawl. Sprawl. Good. Left, right, forward, down block, sprawl. Good. Woo, shake it out. How are we doing?
Oh, that was awesome. My legs are on fire.
Good, you're doing it right there.
That was fun. So now we turn that into a game.
Okay, so let me break this down so this kind of makes sense. Okay. What this is called is, we call this knee tag. And so the stance that you just did, you can use that with a family member, right? So if you have a brother or a sister at home, explain to them first how to do the stance. This way you don't have the upper hand on your brother or your sister or your mom and you're just beating them, right? Teach them how to do it properly so it's a nice competitive match. What you want to do is you want to tag your partner's knee or lower with one hand, okay? So the first round, put 2 minutes on a clock, so have a scorekeeper or a timekeeper, whatever, and try and touch your partner's leg, okay? So when you're doing this, you don't want to run around the room all crazy. What you want to try and do is just tag their knee. If you're able to tag their knee, they're going to do a sprawl. Okay, so now all of a sudden you see that we're playing for keeps all of a sudden, right?
Yeah.
Don't have to do a lot of sprawls. It gets super tiring. So first round, think of it this way. Just try and use one hand to reach straight at your partner to tag the leg. Every time you tag the leg, they have to do a sprawl. Focus on staying in your stance. Whenever we add resistance to this with another partner, people start doing this, right? Everybody starts in a nice, good position, and then they start doing this. They start crossing their feet, running around the room. The position that we're in, where my elbows are, where my hands are, puts me in a good offensive and defensive position. If you go to try and touch my leg, I can use my hands to push the hand away. I can block. The other thing that we see a lot is instead of reaching straight for the leg, you have people doing what we call a Hail Mary, where I'm here, and they reach way back here, and then they swipe trying to touch their partner's leg. Well, your hand has to travel so much further, and you're giving away what you're trying to do in that situation. If you keep your elbows tight and your hands out in front of you, it's quicker to get to your partner's leg. Small movements that your partner can't detect. Okay, so say first
and like low, right?
Exactly. And then what we like to do is we like to level up with this game. So to make sure that both of our hands are in the right place and we're not doing craziness, keep my elbows tight. The second round that you do this, 2-minute round, say you have 1 minute in between, you have to touch your partner's leg with 2 hands at the exact same time. Okay?
Oh, wow. Okay.
Now your partner has to do a sprawl.
Wow. That was awesome. That is a good game. I have a few. I'm like, you can play with your dog.
You can play with your
they
dog.
just won't benefit.
If you can get low enough, yeah.
That's a fun game. Okay, so you're in your athletic position, right? And you're just trying to go for that leg. And that's when you can put in the down block, is when they're coming for yours, you pull away. Ha.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
Your partner's trying to touch your leg, right? So instead of moving away 100 steps across the room where you can neither be offensive or defensive, you're so far away. Yeah. You want to stay in a position where you can either push your partner's hands away or you just simply move your leg and then you can be offensive. You're still within striking distance, essentially.
Yeah, totally. That's awesome. That was super awesome. Okay, so do we want to go through just kind of the motions once again of like the stance, how to do the proper sprawl, and then how to do a proper down block? Just so a little refresher, so then that way everyone can take it back and teach their mom and teach their dad and teach their brothers and sisters and anyone around. So absolutely. Yeah, you want to go through that?
Absolutely. Let me adjust the camera here again.
Perfect.
Okay, so I'm going to start with my feet together. Now that we've kind of run through this a couple of times, I'm going to leave it up to you, whatever you feel more comfortable with. Feet shoulder width apart. I'm going to step whatever foot that I feel more comfortable doing so forward. Just think about like 1-2 feet. Okay, you should feel like you can hop around comfortably in this position. If your feet are too close, it's no good. Okay, you're not explosive in that position. So feet underneath your shoulder, and take kind of like 2 feet forward. Bang. Nice athletic stance. I'm bending my knees. The weight is in the balls of my feet. Think about it this way. If I had a piece of paper, I could go underneath your heel. You're not a ballerina, so don't be way up on your toes. Okay? Weight in the balls of my toes. Toes are facing forward. I'm hinging at the waist. My head is still up. I'm never looking down at the ground. My elbows are tight and my hands are out in front of me. I don't want to have my hands on my knees. Okay, I don't want to plant myself. I want to be mobile and ready to go, especially when we start trying to tag our partner's knee. Okay, so when we move forwards, I'm going to step with my front foot first. A little rule of thumb is whatever direction you're going in, the foot nearest that direction steps first. So if I'm going forward, my front foot steps first. In this case, that's my right leg. If I switch the stance and my left foot is in the front and I go forward, my left foot steps first. As you're learning this, after every step, look down and check your feet. After a couple steps you move around, you notice that your feet are too close together. All you have to do, start again in that neutral stance, shoulder width apart, 2 feet forward, bend those knees, and we're back in action. Okay? Hinging, elbows, hands out. When I'm reaching for the leg, my hands are going forward, nice and straight. Don't be being crazy. You're not a bird, you're a wrestler. Okay? Grappling. Stay tight, stay at home. If I move to the right, right foot steps first. Step, step. Notice how I'm not dragging my legs. Okay? We refer to this as the zombie leg. When you see somebody go step, drag, step, drag. This is slowing down my movement. Stay nice and low. I'm going to lift my feet off the ground. Step, step. If I go forward, front foot first, step, step. Backwards, my back foot first. Step, step. Always staying nice and low. Okay? Quick review of our sprawl now. When we do the sprawl, it's not a push-up. Okay? It's not slow. So you're not doing a burpee. Okay? From my athletic stance, I'm staying nice and low to the ground. To know if you're low enough, you should be able to touch the floor. Okay? You should be able to touch the floor with ease in my stance. When we do the sprawl, my eyes stay up, my hands are going to shoot down to the floor. As soon as my hands touch the floor, both of my legs at the same time are going to kick back. Here. My hips are touching the mat. I'm going to stand right back up nice and fast. Think about it like you're jumping on a surfboard, right? You can't do it slow. You got to pop up right away. So we're here, elbows tight, nice and low. I'm going to put my hands down, keep my legs back. Okay? So, with our down block now, I'm in my stance. Whatever foot that you've decided is forward, that's the leg that's going to kick backwards in a down block. Okay? In this case, it's my right leg. That's what I feel more comfortable with, but it's completely up to you. Nice and low. My right leg is going to kick back. My right hand is going to replace it on the floor. Okay? So as you said, when I do this, I don't have to focus on pointing my toes or being perfectly straight. The objective is my partner's trying to grab my leg. I need to kick it away so I don't get a point scored against it. Stay nice and low. So he goes for my leg. I get out of the way. Keep my balance by putting that hand down. Okay, whenever I come back up to my stance, I'm nice and low to the ground where I can touch the ground. I'm not sitting down. Okay, I'm planting myself like a tree if I did this, taking away my own mobility.
Awesome. That was awesome. Thank you so, so much.
No worries. I hope you learned a couple things there. Hope that helped.
I did. I got a little bit zoned out there for a moment because I was like in the flow of when you're, when you get into a flow, I was like, absolutely. Yeah, these drop blocks look good right now. Thank you so, so much, Justin. That was awesome.
Thank you
for joining us. I hope your Friday is just as great as ours, and I hope everyone at home had lots of fun doing this. We'd love to have you back.
Absolutely.
We can progress this because, I'm into it, and I hope everyone at home is into it. I think martial art is super cool, and not a lot of people get a chance to explore it. So I'm all in for you coming back. So thank you everyone for joining in today. If you want to show us your videos on your down blocks or your sprawls and your good stance, definitely send us a video. We'd love to show it off and show Justin what you're doing at home. So thank you so much. Enjoy your weekend. Have a great weekend. We'll see you all later. Bye.